For centuries, the galaxy had laughed at Earth. The Council archives were filled with jokes about the small blue planet tucked away in the backwater spiral arm of the Milky Way. Primitive, they called them. Emotional. Uncivilized. And for centuries, humanity listened, learned, and remembered. When the Galactic Council first reached Earth, they offered technology, trade, and cultural guidance. The humans accepted with open hands and hidden thoughts. They built, studied, and advanced faster than any species before them. But they also watched. Every insult, every betrayal, every act of mockery was written deep into their memory. At first, humans were considered useful laborers. They were strong, adaptable, and unafraid of harsh conditions. Many corporations from the inner worlds used them to build stations, terraform barren moons, and maintain starship fleets. But respect never came. The Council believed Earth lacked the discipline of higher species. Their history of wars and emotions made them too volatile for leadership. When humans requested a seat on the Council, the laughter echoed across 1,000 systems. It was on that day the first seed of vengeance took root. Years passed. Empires rose, fell, and merged. Humanity spread farther, quietly growing in numbers. They accepted every contract, every dangerous mission, and every remote colony no one else wanted. The galaxy thought they were desperate for acceptance. In truth, they were building something vast and unseen. Hidden within the dark between stars, humanity constructed the Aegis network, a chain of mobile shipyards and data vaults orbiting uncharted worlds. Each one was shielded, hidden, self-sustaining. Their existence was a secret even to the corporations that funded them. The first sign that something had changed came quietly. A Council warship vanished while patrolling a border near human-controlled space. The report stated engine malfunction. A month later, 3 more vanished. The Council blamed pirates. When the trade convoys to Earth stopped arriving, the Council did not care. "Let them starve," said one senator. "They are useful only when we command them." But Earth did not starve. It simply went silent. No communication, no trade requests, no diplomatic contact, just silence. And then, the skies began to darken. The first planet to fall was Virella, a prosperous industrial world known for its luxury goods. It woke to a sudden eclipse that blotted out its twin suns. Thousands looked upward as black shapes moved through the clouds, ships unlike anything they had seen before. They were massive, angular, silent. Their hulls shimmered like liquid metal. They bore no insignia, no colors, no banners. Only one symbol. A circle crossed by 3 lines, burned across their flanks. Moments later, the world went dark. Communications died, satellites fell, and every orbiting defense platform turned to dust. The bombardment was precise, surgical, and relentless. When the attack ended, only one message was broadcast across the galactic network. For centuries, you mocked the children of Earth. Now, you will remember their silence. The message ended with a simple emblem, the same circle with 3 lines. The Council dismissed it as a terrorist act. A rebellion from human colonies, they said. Nothing more. They sent fleets to investigate. None returned. The pattern continued. One world after another fell under shadow. Merchant routes vanished, communication hubs burned, and entire sectors went silent. The Council began to panic. Their fleets were vast, their technology advanced, but the enemy moved like ghosts. No prisoners, no survivors, only the blackened remains of once proud worlds. The Council's intelligence agency finally intercepted a fragment of an enemy transmission. It was encoded in a language long abandoned by the galaxy. English, they called themselves. The Terran Accord. Admiral Ryan of the Council's 5th Fleet stood before a map filled with red marks, each representing a fallen world. His voice trembled as he addressed the gathered commanders. "They are humans," he said quietly, "but this is not the humanity we knew. They have weapons beyond our understanding. Their ships phase through our sensors. Their AIs override our systems before we can react." One general sneered. "They are savages with stolen technology." Ryan stared at him. "Then explain how they took out the Draylan fortress, the most fortified station in the galaxy, in 12 minutes. Silence filled the chamber. The Admiral's gaze drifted toward the stars projected above. They are not fighting for territory. They are erasing memory. They want the galaxy to forget it ever mocked them. Meanwhile, deep within the command ship Eidolon, Commander Hale watched as another council world burned beneath the fleet. He was not smiling. He did not feel pride. Only cold, focused purpose. Status, he said. Planetary resistance neutralized, replied his officer. Evacuation shuttles destroyed. Network relay severed. Begin transmission. A single message echoed across the galaxy again, this time with a new line. You laughed when Earth begged for respect. Now you will kneel when its shadow falls. Every broadcast ended the same way. No threats, no demands, no negotiations. Just the emblem of the Terran Accord burning against a black sky. Rumors spread across the surviving systems. Some said the Terrans had found ancient weapons buried beneath Mars. Others whispered they had merged with machine intelligences born in the deep void. The truth was simpler. They had learned. For every insult, they built strength. For every betrayal, they forged unity. While the galaxy fought among itself, humanity had turned its focus inward, perfecting their science, training their armies, merging human instinct with machine precision. They no longer needed approval. They sought balance, the kind achieved only through reckoning. The Council convened an emergency summit at Tyrannus Prime, the last remaining fortress world in the Inner Ring. Dozens of species attended. Their fleets surrounded the planet, forming a wall of firepower never before seen. The Supreme Chancellor stood before the assembly. We will not bow to primitives, he declared. We are the guardians of civilization. They cannot destroy us all. His words were met with weak applause. Everyone knew the truth. The Terrans had not lost a single battle. The sky outside began to darken again. At first, the Council thought it was a solar anomaly. Then sensors detected thousands of signatures emerging from hyperspace, surrounding the system from all directions. The Terran fleet had arrived. Massive carriers eclipsed the suns. Swarms of drones poured forth like living storms. Their weapons didn't flash or roar, they whispered. The soundless precision of annihilation. The first defense line fell within minutes. The second lasted an hour. The third never fired a shot. From the council chambers, the delegates watched their fleets disintegrate into glowing debris. Some screamed, others prayed, and then the central screen flickered to life. A human appeared, pale, calm, eyes cold as the void. This is Commander Hale of the Terran Accord, he said. For generations you treated us as lesser. You built your thrones on our labor and mocked our tears. You thought we would remain beneath you. You were wrong, the Chancellor shouted. You can't destroy civilization. Hale's voice remained steady. We are not destroying it. We are replacing it. The transmission ended. Moments later, the Terran fleet fired. Tyrannus Prime, the heart of the Council, vanished beneath a tidal wave of antimatter fire. The blast was visible across half the galaxy. When the silence settled, no Council remained. No capital worlds. No empires. Only fragments scattered across the stars. Humanity did not claim the ruins. They did not conquer. They simply erased what had mocked them. In the aftermath, surviving colonies began receiving transmissions, not threats, but instructions: rebuild, renew, remember. The Terran Accord established a new order, one not built on species, status or lineage, but on contribution and respect. The message was clear. Those who mocked Earth were gone, but those willing to stand as equals would live. Over time, peace returned, but the memory never faded. Children across the galaxy learned the story of the day the skies turned black, of the shadows that moved with purpose, of the humans who had once been laughed at until the laughter died. Years later, in a quiet observatory orbiting the ruins of a dead world, a young historian named Levan stood before a cracked window. Beyond it, fragments of shattered moons drifted silently. He had been born long after the war, but the stories were everywhere, whispered in classrooms, sung in memorial halls. He turned to his mentor, an old researcher who had seen the war with his own eyes. Do you think they'll ever come back? Levan asked. The old man shook his head slowly. They never left. They just watched from the dark. Levan stared at the black sky and saw faint glimmers, distant lights moving in formation, too precise to be natural. For a moment he felt a chill. Humanity was still there, somewhere beyond the edges of known space, silent, watching, ensuring the galaxy remembered. The historian whispered to himself, they mocked Earth for too long. And as the stars dimmed in the void, the words finished themselves, until the sky turned black, one world at a time.